Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So, a lot of people feel this, and there's a few that do talk about it, but most, I would say, stay quiet on this topic, but I won't. Let's talk about it. So, modern Christians, they are the most polite participants in their own collapse. They call it love, call it grace. But what it really is obedience disguised as virtue. They are they're the well-behaved volunteers in a system that despises them, utterly despises them. And they don't push back. They just, nod along and call it faith. And nowhere is this clear than their obsession with marriage. Because, dude, when it comes to marriage, dude, they cuck the hardest of anyone. They cuck harder than anyone, despite everything that we know. Despite the courts, the statistics, the alimony traps, the child support system, just the circus that is family court. These men still look a young guy in the eyes and say, "Hey, buddy, you know what? You need to get married and start a family and be a godly man," right? They say this as if the system isn't stacked against him, and that women, like the culture hasn't weaponized women, and vows still mean something when the state's involved. They're not preparing men. They're setting them up. They're setting them up for a bad time. It's not even domestic compliance at this point. It's even worse. It's generational betrayal. That's what it is. And, these guys inherit, a broken model and they get wrecked by it, utterly wrecked. And, instead of burning it down or warning others, they just hand it off like a family heirloom. Here you go. And they do it all with a smile on their face and a Bible in their hand. They think if they, just say the right words, follow the script, pray hard enough, oh God, please, he'll intervene. But that is not guidance at all. It's just blind hope dressed up as divine strategy. And, the advice, it sounds holy, but it's hollow. Despite everything men are up against with, family court, false allegation or false accusations, the divorce industrial complex, parental alienation, Christian men still get up on stage to this day or in front of, their cameras and tell young men to their face to find a good woman and just get married. Oh, really? That's it? It's that easy, huh? Just find a good woman and get married? Really? That's your advice? In this climate? In this legal system? Seriously? That's not wise, dude. That is so negligent. You are sending these young men into a buzzsaw and handing them a Bible like it's body armor. Yeah, dude, they're screwed, man. They talk about marriage like it's still some sacred contract. But they conveniently ignore the reality that the state owns it. The minute that you say I do, the government becomes a third party in your relationship. They don't warn young men about that. They downplay it. In fact, they just moralize and tell them to man up. It's what men do. I mean, take people like Michael Knowles at the Daily Wire, for instance. He's supposed to be this traditionalist Catholic intellectual, but I mean, even he jumped on the that good old redemption arc bandwagon with Nala Ray, that former OF chick who had that convenient come to Jesus moment and then suddenly became the poster child for conservative female virtue. Remember that? Dude, these dudes will talk for hours and hours about modesty and chastity and feminine virtue. And then what do? They platform the same girls who cashed in on simps for years and, brag about being pathological liars so they'll go viral. And then they call them based because they deleted their accounts. And now quote scripture. Dude, that is not transformation. That is marketing. And that they fall for it every time. Every stinking time. But if a man spent years chasing sex and running from responsibility, then, suddenly tried to rebrand himself as righteous, would he get the same applause? Would he be forgiven as fast? Of course not. He'd be crucified by the same crowd that praises her. They're addicted to the redemption narratives, man. It's not about truth anymore. It's about optics. It's about storytelling. It is. That's why that's why Christian men marry single moms who, trash their baby daddies and then, posted "God's not done with me" captions, right? And their selfies. Dude, that's why they'll marry someone with, 5 bodies, 50 bodies. Doesn't matter as long as, she's crying during baptism, right? Meanwhile, you're, if you're someone who questions religion altogether, like myself, you're a threat. You're the one who needs saving. They'll throw grace at a former, P star. But me, the guy with valid critiques, they'll write him off. They'll write you off as lost. He's lost. Doesn't know what he's talking about. He's wandering and he's lost. That's not spiritual discernment. That's selective softness is what that is. I mean, they think it's virtuous to look the other way, to hand out trust where it hasn't been earned. They're still clinging to a system that's been completely hijacked, and they call it loyalty. But let's be honest here. The traditional model they're defending is gone. It's gone. The contract is broken, and there's no salvaging it through churches or couples retreats or whatever, premarital counseling. That's not going to fix it. It's not. Now, what will fix it? This is a controversial topic. This is a pretty bold stance. Some might call it out of pocket even. I would say it would be abolishing the state altogether, because the truth is, this isn't just a spiritual issue, it's a structural one. The government is the reason men lose custody. The government is the reason false allegations are incentivized. The government is the reason marriage has become a liability. And Christianity, instead of challenging that system, protects it, defends it, blesses it. Just the way it is, They've become state chaplains, nothing more. They're state chaplains. I was about to say chaperones. They would take the state to prom too, wouldn't they? It's freaking cucks. And don't get it twisted. I still believe that men should start families. I still believe that we are biologically hardwired to raise children, to lead, to protect. I believe in fatherhood on a spiritual level, not in some Hallmark way, nothing cheesy like that, but in a real grounded sense of legacy, of anchoring something beyond yourself. But pushing men into a rigged system in the name of faith is betrayal. It's not leadership. It's not virtue. It's utter delusion. We don't need any more sermons. What we need is more sovereignty. We don't need more cucked out Christian influencers telling men to sacrifice themselves for a system that won't lift a finger for them. We need men to wake up, damn it. Christianity isn't countercultural. It's not the counterculture. It is the culture. It's a part of that simp culture, man. It's the soft front of the state. It's the moral mouthpiece that convinces you to comply while everything is being taken from you. And until men start seeing that, they'll keep losing. They will keep losing politely and prayerfully and permanently.